Hello.
Yeah,
Hello. Hi,
yeah,
can you
yeah,
hear
I can
me? Can you
hear
hear
you.
me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, I'm so sorry. I think I was facing some network issue,
Oh,
and that's what kicked me out. I'm still resolving the issue. Is it okay if switch on my camera in 5 minutes? The Wi-Fi router is in my room that's still being done with. So is it okay if I
yeah,
switch on my video in 5 minutes?
yeah, sure.
Okay. In the meantime, shall we start our session?
Yeah, sure.
All right. First of all, it's great to meet you. How are you?
Yeah, thank you. And same to you. I'm fine. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm also good. How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was same like weekdays as well. I mean, just except the office work, but nothing special.
Uh-huh. What profession do you practice?
I'm an IT professional. I work in Cognizant.
All right. So, did you always want to be an IT professional, like since school?
No, no, no. I wanted to be a pilot.
Okay.
But then I mean, I realized that that is not possible for me. Maybe that is very tough for me. So that's why I ended up being an engineer.
All right. I mean, I don't think becoming a pilot would have been tough for you. It's just that from what I have realized, it's a very privatized field, no? Uh, Pilot study is a very privatized field. I think from what I've understood from my friends who are in science, I've learned that it's a very expensive field. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Hi. Yeah.
Oh,
Can you
yeah, I
see
can.
my video now?
Yeah, I can see you.
All right. Okay. But I think engineering is good, and IT professionals are the top earners of our industry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. But I have a gap between my. I mean, I don't. I did not continually. I mean, continually doing this. How should I say? Is means
You say
I
whatever
have.
way you can. I'll correct it for you. Hmm.
Yeah, actually, I have gap. So that's why I thought of not doing this anymore. So I left from the job. I just
Like
resigned.
quit the job.
Yeah, quit the job. I resigned, but my mother actually, and I thought that I was doing. I will do something else, but I maybe the government job or something like that. But my mother insisted me to do this one only. So I rejoined.
Yeah.
I rejoined the same company.
Or the same company then you rejoined.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, all right, okay. Well, I think it's a good field, in the sense that it pays well. The work is not physically tiring, mentally, yes, but
Yeah.
at least from the outside, it seems like a good field to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't want to give you an existential or a career crisis. I'm sorry. I was just curious to know about things. All right.
Yeah.
I see that this is your second session.
Yeah. Actually, this is my third session, but I booked it after my first session, so that's why it's showing
Oh,
session two. Yeah.
the numbers too.
Yeah.
All right, all right. How were your first two sessions?
Yeah, those were good. I mean, the tutors were very helpful, and they were actually means rectified they corrected the mistakes that I have committed and all of these things. So it was good. I mean, those were good, both the sessions.
All
But
right. Yeah.
yeah, actually, I joined this actually. I Let me tell you about my background. I
Yeah.
did my schooling from a Bengali medium school. So I
Mm-hmm.
struggled a lot with this spoken English in my engineering, and that's why I decided that I need to join some courses or something like that to be able to speak fluently. And I joined
Mm-hmm.
some courses as well, but still I'm struggling with this one. So I joined this Clapingo because I have seen a lot of people are talking about this and everything. So I joined. So my question to you is it possible for me, means possible for a Bengali medium school, I mean Bengali medium student or something who belong to a
Bengali
Bengali medium?
speaking person. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that would be the right so is it possible for that person to to speak fluently like maybe Barkha Dutt or anyone like that, like her? I mean, who speaks very fluently. I really like the way she speaks. So is it possible?
Okay. I'd like to know, where is this coming from? Why do you feel this, why is there such lack of surety in you? Why do you think somebody who comes from a Bengali background cannot speak that well?
Because I have been, I mean, I had spent a lot of time, not maybe I was not consistent with my practice, but it's been, I think, how many years? 10 years or more. I'm I'm struggling with this language. So that's why I'm
Um,
thinking like this.
See, right now you're able to very clearly communicate to me everything that you wish to. What is a language? I understand. Oh, can you not hear me?
Yeah, I just now I can, but what you
All right.
said, I did
All right.
not hear.
Okay. All right. So I was saying you could right now very clearly communicate everything to me. Okay, you very efficiently communicated your fears, your insecurity, your doubts, everything to me. Okay, what is language? Language is but a way of communicating something, right?
Right,
Since you were
right,
able to efficiently communicate to me, I would say that you're good in your language. So far, in the 5 minutes that you've spoken, you've made only one mistake. Okay, an entire thing is correct. So you do speak well, you speak fluently. All right. Now so Barkha Dutt is above 45, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah,
yeah,
so she's been speaking this language for over 45 years. The more we speak, the better we get. Okay.
yeah.
So
That's
it's
the
really
thing.
a matter of time that we spend doing anything. So I have always been an English speaker. All my life I've spoken in English, but over the last 5 years, my English has significantly, I don't want to say improved, but enhanced. It has significantly enhanced because I have spoken so much. I have indulged so thoroughly in the language and using it for my communication, using it for my expression. I use English to express my thoughts. So that's how I've indulged in the language, right? So
Okay,
over the past 5 years, I have always been a fluent speaker, but I have now developed a certain flow of my language. Yeah, so
okay.
it comes with time also. So you do speak well. There are no two ways about that. I've spoken to you barely for 5 minutes, but I've been working on this platform for 2 years. So based on that, I can tell you that you speak well. Uh, for
But my
example,
problem is, yeah, please
yeah,
go ahead. Means I have lack of vocabularies, so I get stuck in between the conversation, and that
yeah.
is so embarrassing. I mean, I just maybe find the words, and I couldn't find a right word to express the things that I want to say.
All right. Okay, one at a time. Okay, this is the first problem. We'll deal with that first. Okay. Um. So what I do for vocabulary, there are two things. I mean, I don't consciously look for vocabulary. It's because I feel like I know enough to express what I want to express. Okay.
Yeah,
But sometimes I also tend to forget the words that I want to use. It's like the word is right at the back of my head, but I just cannot bring it to my tongue. That happens
yeah.
sometimes, and that is a common language phenomena more than specific to English. But
Hmm.
something that I still do is, so for example, if I'm reading something or listening to something or just consuming any content or anything in English, and I come across a word that I don't know of, or a word that I know but I tend to forget, what I do is I'll show it to you. I take a screenshot of it in my phone. Yeah, so like I look it up on the internet, okay, on Google. I take a screenshot and then I like this. Save it in my phone. All right. So this word is belly aching. Belly aching means constantly complaining about something. Okay. So I heard it somebody say to somebody that I'm sick of your belly aching. So I understood the context, but I was like, Acha, what is the specific meaning that I want to know? Belly aching is
Mm-hmm.
like constantly complaining about something very trivial. Okay. I've
Okay.
taken a screenshot of it. Now I've spoken it with you. So this is something which is in my mind. So now I will delete the screenshot. Done.
Oh,
Okay. So this is something I do. For like people when say that we forget words, this is what I do for words a lot of times. Another thing I would suggest you is watch interviews. Do you watch any interviews ever?
yeah, before my own interviews, but not
No,
now.
I
I
mean
don't
like
watch
any
anymore.
type of interviews. So I do consume a lot of entertainment interviews, or I consume a lot of political interviews, or I consume existential interviews. Okay, in these three
Okay.
categories. The idea
Okay,
is,
the shows you are talking about where
oh
they
no,
conduct.
anything on YouTube also. So like
Okay.
for example, there's this podcast that I've been watching these days, not listening to, watching.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Overthink Tank. It's called the Overthink Tank.
Overthink that.
Overthink
Okay.
Tank. So I'll tell you, so it's not like it's teaching me vocabulary or anything. I speak well. I would speak
Yeah.
the same things that they would.
Mm.
But I'll tell you something. When you listen to somebody, it helps you
I think there's some disturbance.
articulating your
So
own
it's
thoughts.
breaking, your voice is
Like
breaking
you
in
said that I
between.
can't express myself. One second. Is it stable now? Is my voice stable
Yeah,
now?
yeah, now
Is
it's
it
fine.
stable now? Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I say listen to interviews or podcast is also no conversation of people. You know what a podcast is, right?
Yeah, yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
know.
So interviews, podcasts, these are basically people articulating themselves, expressing their thoughts. So when they express their thoughts, you learn, acha, this is how I can also express my thoughts. It may not be
Yeah,
about the same
exactly.
thing, but you learn the ways, you adapt to the ways. I feel like I used to watch such interviews a lot when I was 18, 19 years old, and I'm sure that has had an impact on my language.
Okay.
So,
You
so
started when you were 18.
Oh no, I was just watching interviews 18, 19. So I never had a phone before 17. I
Oh,
got a
okay.
phone only in my college, and then I was exposed to all this media. And that had a very strong influence on my language now. So I do listen to that. It will help you. Basically, what is an interview? Somebody is asking a person, "Hey, what are your thoughts on it?" And that
Mm-hmm.
person is trying his best to deliver the thoughts. You face the problem of not being able to communicate your thoughts. So you
Yeah,
listen to somebody else do that. And then you
right,
learn from those things. So
right,
do that,
right.
and it will enhance your language. You speak well, you don't make mistakes. So you're good.
I do. I do. Okay, no problem. Thank you.
No. And people from all backgrounds speak well. Barkha Dutt, like you said, speaks well. Shashi Tharoor speaks really well.
Oh God.
Not North Indian, no.
He's out of reach. He
Absolutely.
uses very fancy words. I mean, the vocabularies and everything. Those are
I
very
Yeah, very fancy.
advanced, advanced level. Yeah.
Advance, I'll tell you. See, now there's a word that I have now suddenly forgotten. I think it is called esoteric. Yeah. So, do you know the meaning of the word esoteric?
No.
Esoteric. Esoteric is which only a small group of knowledgeable people know about. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the words that he used, they're not fancy necessarily. I mean, fancy is a word that we can call it, but esoteric
Yeah.
is something which only a small number of people with special knowledge know.
No. Yeah.
Okay. So his
Right.
language is very esoteric in nature. No, sometimes he may use words that I also don't know, but it doesn't mean I'm not good in English. His language
Right.
is
Right.
very esoteric.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very elite. It's very esoteric in nature.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. That's right.
yeah. So now what you can do is go on Google, look the word esoteric, take a screenshot, keep it in your phone. Okay.
Oh. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. And we use the phone so much, so we're always using our phone. So we might as well do something good out of them. No, that is the idea.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Um. All right. Any other doubt? Any other doubt that you may have?
Um, any other doubt? No, I don't have any doubt, but I just want to improve my means I just want to be fluent. So that for that, I want to take any kind of steps that need to be
Okay,
taken.
let's not focus on fluency though. Okay, you've just started out your sessions. So let's not say fluency, maybe focus on something else. Fluency is something you cannot control, it will happen on its own.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's not something, it's not an output you will achieve um, after one session.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Another thing, see, right now you could have said that I do not have a doubt per se. PERSE, per se. Per se is
P
used
R
when will
S C.
PER gap SE, per se.
Okay,
So, for example, no, I am not. I don't have a doubt per se. Per se means not exactly a doubt.
okay,
Okay, so like
okay.
that is what you meant to say. No, like there's no
Yeah,
doubt really.
yeah,
So,
exactly,
so the
exactly.
word you can use per se, PERSE at the end.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so like basically, essentially, you can say when you're like, no, not per se. That is not the idea. Not essentially. I just meant like something around it. Okay, so like that.
Right.
This is how just gather words, words that you can use
Yeah,
on a daily basis. Okay.
right.
Another suggestion I might have for you is, so when you're in your office and you're say anywhere that you are, and you're thinking about something and you're like, how do I express this in English? Right? Is
Yeah.
there a better way of saying it? Quickly in your phone or anywhere, make a note of it. That okay, this thing I want to ask. How can I say it in English? This thing, are there many other ways of saying it in English? Then ask them here in the session, so that when you start your day tomorrow, you can directly implement those things.
Right,
Right?
right.
Instead of me telling you vocabulary which can be irrelevant for you, might as well ask me something which is relevant to you. Right?
Correct. Right.
So do that. um and let's not focus on fluency. Okay, let it be a byproduct of you being here. Okay, we'll try
Yeah,
to
sure.
we'll try it. See, byproduct, I know you know the meaning of the word, but maybe you don't use it a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Quickly, you wherever you can, make a note of it. This is how we learn things. Okay, this is how we go about it. So
Right.
so that uh all right, let's try to do one activity. Okay.
Okay, sure.
um okay, I'm going to request you to tell me a story. Okay, the story can be anything. It can be story of a movie, right? If you watched any movie and you remember the story, you could narrate
Mm-hmm.
that story. It could be a trip. You can narrate a trip to me that you took ever.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it. I essentially want you to narrate something where you in detail tell me about it, so that you express a lot. Okay, let's try doing that. Do you have anything in mind?
Um, yeah, trip. Uh, actually, something is coming in my mind. Actually, whenever uh, one another tutor also asked me this question, not here, but in other.
Yeah.
Uh, so that is coming in my mind. That one incident that
What
happened.
question?
Not question, actually.
So was it
Uh,
travel based? Something on travel, na?
No, no, not travel. Actually, no, not the trips and anything is not coming right now. The thing which is coming right now is my first day of engineering college.
Oh,
That
you
is
can tell me
coming.
about it. Do
Yeah,
tell me.
actually, uh, I did not expect that I mean, I was very ignorant about this, so I did not expect that there would be. I mean, everybody would talk in English only. That there would be I mean, the environment would be totally English environment. So when the first day when I mean, the classes were started. I mean, the classes were not actually they were just introductions and everything. So the faculties were coming and they were giving the introduction and everything, and I mean, they were talking about the schedule and stuffs. So I just noticed that everybody around me, and the students, even the students were talking in English. And I was so nervous that how could how could I communicate with these people, and how do it won't be possible for me to survive for 4 years in this college. So I was so scared that when I was coming back, we just got up on a bus. We took a bus to reach our home. So I just I was on the back side. My mother was there with me, and she was sitting in the front seats, and I was sitting in the back seats. And I was crying, and I was thinking that I should have chosen something else as my career. Like, I love singing, so I just started thinking that I should have chosen singing as a career. Because people say that you sing very good, and I also had this was my another dream, to be a singer. So I just started thinking that I should have become a singer, or I was so scared, and I couldn't actually make you understand that how much scared I was at that point of time. And I had no choice, that I could tell my mother that I want to leave this college, and I don't want to continue my engineering. But from so I was scared, and I was just thinking, there were so many thoughts were coming at uh, and I was just overthinking that how should I carry on with this. But in the second day, everything was changed. I mean, the Bengali people were talking in Bengali, between each other, and then the non-Bengali
Yeah.
people were talking in Hindi. So from second day, I was settled. Means I was feeling relaxed that okay, I can survive. Maybe it will be. And then again, there was a subject called humanities, and where the teacher would actually call the students. I mean, the different kind of activities she would
It
uh,
was an interactive
conduct.
class.
Yeah, it was an interactive class, and the GDs and extemporaries would be, conducting in that particular class. I mean, the teacher would conduct those things. So in that class, I struggled a lot, and then I decided that I should start, because at that point of time, I was horribly bad in spoken English, so
Yeah.
then I started. So that's what it was coming in my mind, and nothing was coming, so that's why I just shared this one.
I really respect you sharing it. I'm glad that you shared it. Um, if I might, okay, so there are a couple of corrections. So I'll tell you what you do is you say a sentence, you start a sentence, you stop, and then you start it again, and then the structure of the sentence changes, and the
Yeah,
person who's listening is kind of confused if you're speaking correctly or not. Okay,
right, right.
this happened 2 3 times, so like you're using this happen in so this was happening in this. So now I'm like, oh, did you say happen or did you say happening? Where should I correct you? Okay, so
Hmm.
if you've started a sentence, for most of them, stuck with it, continue. Okay, if it is wrong, we'll change it. If it is wrong, then speak it and then completely change it. Midway, don't take a turn back sometimes. Only for few
Okay.
sentences, not for all of them. Okay.
Hmm.
Now I'll just quickly, I've understood your story. What I'll do is I'll change a couple of sentences and I will narrate your story. Okay. So
Yeah,
later
sure.
in the recording, you can see how I did it. If you like
Right,
certain words, you can pick them up or just way of speaking. You don't have to copy how I said it, but just understand it. Okay.
right, right.
So on my first day of college, oh, another word. So you use the word ignorant.
Hmm.
Okay. The word you want to use is naive. Naive. Naive.
Naive.
Naive. Naive is
Okay, naive.
somebody who's very innocent and does not know what's gonna happen. Yeah, so you were very naive. You did not know
Okay.
everybody would be speaking in English, right? You weren't
Yeah, yeah.
ignorant. You weren't
Hmm.
ignoring it. So you
Yeah.
can say on my first day of college, I was taken aback by how everybody was speaking in English. And I thought to myself how naive it is of me to assume that that everybody would be speaking in Bengali or our native languages. So when I
Mhm.
went to college and I saw everybody, students and teachers alike, to be speaking in English language, I was terrified. And I thought to myself that there is no way I will be able to survive 4 years here. I just wanted to go back home and quit the degree. Um, it was a very difficult first day for me because all the students were interacting with each other, not between each other, with each other. All the
Each
students
other.
were interacting with each other only in English. So I went back home. I had a terrible first day. Um, I wanted to quit my degree, but when I went to college the second day, I saw that everybody had now become comfortable with each other, and so they were speaking in their native languages, either Bengali or Hindi. Um,
Right.
so I felt a little comforted by that, and I took a sigh of relief. SIGH, sigh. Okay, this is sigh.
Oh,
Okay, so I took a sigh of relief, and thought and told myself it's okay, we'll make it somehow through the degree. um, but there was this one class of humanities where the teacher was very interactive, and she always conducted a lot of GDs, a lot of discussions, debates, which were in English. So that is when I realized, even if I speak with my friends in Bengali, I will have to work on my English anyway. Okay,
okay.
so a couple of things. You could, instead of take bus, you can say boarded, BOARDED, boarded a bus. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, these are the things that you can work on.